Little Christmas shuffle. Welcome back to the Rod Shop channel here at Saxy Rod Shop. So we were just going to bring you up to date a little bit here on the Cobra. So we got all the fan in, the new radiator. Now this has a brushless fan system on it, and it's controlled by a pulse width modulation. There is a sensor, and as the engine temperature increases, the fan will come on slowly and only spin at a certain percentage based on engine temperature. So we tested this yesterday. Engine temperature came up to about 180, 190 in that range, and the fan was running at about 20% duty cycle. And we have some video. It was actually pulling a rag from the front of the nose, pulling air, enough air that it was pulling that rag up inside that cavity. And the fans are also nice and quiet. Now as that engine temperature, if that engine temperature was to continue to increase, that fan will start running faster and pulling even more air. We built a nice little shroud, put in some little rubber flaps on it here to help when the car's running down the road, just to let some of the pressure out. And that fan's only going to run as temperature is calling for it. We put in the new hoses here, upper and lower stainless steel hose. And this is a replacement radiator for the factory radiator that came in this car. We were able to find one of those. So that's kind of where we've gotten on this one. We're fixing to deliver it. We're waiting on a new air filter assembly come in, and then we'll be delivering this here later on. So we got in this F100 here yesterday, and it's in for a fair amount of work. We're going to convert it to Holley fuel injection with the sniper system, probably go to an electrical fan, and it's got a small leak in in the radiator in one of the tanks. We got to find that and get that taken care of. He does want us to raise it. It's got the old school Chrysler torsion bar front end that we used to do back in the late 70s and 80s, and we're going to raise that front end up a little bit, raise the rear end, keep the rate, but just raise the truck up a little bit, give it a little bit more suspension clearance. Going to be doing those things. Changing out the interior. We're going to be changing out the interior, changing out the steering column, some of that type stuff. Redoing, putting a front bumper on it, painting it to match the car. Redoing some rear cosmetics on the back of the car. I think something about the mirrors maybe on his list to do. Some of that type stuff. So we got a little bit of work ahead of us on this one. But this will be a fun project to do. It's a really nice looking truck. It's just an older build, and it needs some TLC. So quick update on the 57. Customer was out this past week, actually a week ago today, and he's finally made his final decision on paint color combination and choice, interior colors and carpet decision. And so what he's decided to go with on the paint, so what we use these speed shapes here. This is actually an aluminum one, a really nice one. And you can see, and it's kind of hard to tell, but we had it broke up into three different colors. One section, and the back section. And the customer actually ended up going with this really nice dark one. And this is a 2024 GM color. And I want to say the name is Dark Moon Blue. That's correct. So that would be the color of the body and the interior. And then the roof is actually going to be an off-white cream color on the roof, just from the drip rails up. And then he made a decision on his interior colors. And now this is from the Moore and Giles leather sample. This is the color that we're going to be going with. It's a nice, soft, pliable leather. It's got a decent grain to it. And the name of this color is Loam, L-O-A-M. As you can see there, it's from the Moore and Giles sample. We've used several of their leathers on some other projects. It's really nice, high quality stuff. And then for the carpet, we're going to be doing the brown square weave. And we're going to, of course, be doing the binding on the carpet with the same leather. So those colors will really go together and tie all this together. And then we finally got, we were having some custom emblems made for this truck, and we got them in. Had them done here at a local machine shop. These were done at a machine shop over in Rockwall called Fabtex Services. And so we integrated a logo from a train. What was this? I think Illinois Central train here. And we brought that into the shape and dimensions of the original pot metal emblem, but we had them made out of CNC. They're 6061 billet. You can see here they're going to bolt on very similar to the original. And then just the quality of this, and then we will actually be sending this out to Advanced Plating and outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and have them plated. And then when they come back, we'll do all the paint work on them ourselves. So these are going to go down here on the fender. So we got those done. And he added a few little things, some modifications to some stuff that was done here and there. But this one's very close to being ready to go to the paint shop. We got a little background noise going on there. It adds to the shop ambiance. So got the Chevelle in, El Camino, 70 model El Camino. And it just came in for some maintenance. The windshield washer fluid pump was out on it. And they weren't squirting correctly on the windshield, and had a little small electric issue. And then we also it needed a new wiper arm. So this one's actually ready to go home now too. But that's all this one came in for, is just some small maintenance. So here on the 55 interior, we're working on the trunk now, and you can see we got the front panels. We're starting to get some of the panels covered. And we're doing some final gapping on our material gaps, working on some of this right here. We'll have leather on both of those, so we're setting it up to where we'll have room for double leather, and over here as well. And then we're going to be doing the same carpet on the floor. So this will be the actual, what'll be going in the car on the floor, and we're gapping the side panels of the floor, and we'll trim it out around here, get all that done. So that's kind of where we are on that. We're working on the deck lid cover. We've been doing our fitting around the edge, getting our gaps nice and tight. And then we'll do the final fiberglassing on the deck lid cover, let that cure for 3 or 4 days. And then we'll start fitting that upholstery panel to this deck lid and mounting it with our screws and stuff like that. And then once that's done, it's a matter of start routing, wiring, and getting all the components connected and functioning correctly. So that's kind of where we are on this. Hopefully by the time you see this next week, into the next video, we'll have most of this all done down here and be finalizing the overhead panel. So let's take a quick look at what we got going on today here at the end of the week. So finishing up one of the bucket seats here for the 39 sedan, all leather, getting it buttoned up. We still got to clean it, steam it, heat out some of the wrinkles on it, finish tightening up the cover, but that's getting real close to being ready to go in. Here on the split window, the 63, you can see where Brandon's been busy this week. He's got both side panels done, all of his bead rolls in there, and then he's worked on this rear panel last couple of days, and he's going to finalize it with a lip that comes up. It still has to be trimmed and cut and welded and all that. That's kind of where we are on this. This is really starting to come together really nice. And here on the 55, we're catching up on the trunk. We've got the floor carpet roughed in place. We're still doing final fit and trim on that. We've got the front panel here covered. We had the inserts covered before, but now we've got the actual main panel. This is how it's going to go in. And again, these are held in with magnets so that you can get in there to service fuse panel or whatever you might need to. If you have anything major they have to get to, this pop these panels out, and then this main panel just bolts in. So we're getting on that, getting that caught up. So here on the little F100 that came in earlier this week, we've started pulling it apart. We're doing quite a bit of update. We're putting fuel injection on it. We're changing out the gauges, changing out the steering column. We're going to be going to a I did it tilt and shift column, getting rid of the floor shifter on that. So we'll be redoing the carpet, and I'll show you what carpet we're going with it. We've taken all the black old 80s panels out that were in it, and we're going to be the customer had purchased some of this ABS plastic panels, and we're going to work with those as much as we can. We may end up building our own panels for the doors, but we're working on that. We're going to pull this insulation out. You can see there's no sound deadening in here, so we're going to put sound deadening in it and then re-insulate all this, and then the cab will get recovered. That we're going to be using the Wilton wool carpet, and I'll show you the colors that's going in it here in a little bit. So this is the color of the vinyl that's going to be on the interior, and the reason we're going with this is he bought a pre-made TMI seat, and the customer bought some extra material. We'll have to order some more. This won't be quite enough. And then we're going to be using this Wilton wool, the square weave carpet. It's what will be going in the car for the new carpet color on that. Some of the other things that the customer has us changing out is we're going to be putting a bumper in the rear here, so the tail lights will get changed out. We're going to be adding a front bumper, and then he was out earlier this morning, and one of the things he's added is we're going to be going to a one-piece door glass, getting rid of the wing window. So that's kind of where we are currently on the little F100. So here on the 57 pickup, customer wanted dual sun visors, so it only had provisions for one. We made a template off this side, located the other hole, so we got duals there. We've come in and welded up some of the seams because the whole interior is going to be painted. You can see here where we welded up some of the seams on that. Got that done. This one's getting real close to being ready for the paint shop here. So here's the seat that's going to be going in the little red F100. It's from TMI. It's got the reclining on it, mechanisms. We still got to build some mounts for the bottom to raise it up for the customer. But the interior will match the design of the seats. So on this 55, it came back in for a no start issue. We did some troubleshooting, and what we have found is some of the wiring had been overheating. This was coming off the starter and going up to the inside of the car, feeding the fuse panel. And inside the truck at the fuse panel, those wires looked just as worse, or just as worse. Does that make sense? As just as bad? It's the end of the week, people. So anyway, so we're doing some rewiring. It just had a 10 gauge, and that 10 gauge wire was carrying the current, supplying the current for all of the load on the fuse panel. So we're upping that from a 10 gauge to a 6 gauge wire. And by doing that, we've already resolved the hard start issue that we were having also on it. And it just wasn't carrying current. This is what happens when you get people doing wiring on a car, and it's just not enough. When you start adding all this fuel injection, electric fuel pump, electric fans, all the other demand, a 10 gauge wire is not enough to carry the current. So we actually also added a 100 amp fuse in that same circuit. So the whole fuse panel and everything on the car is now protected with a 100 amp fuse. So here in the paint shop, a little update on the 32 sedan. As you saw earlier, this thing, 18-wheeler trailer, had backed into the right front of this car and shoved everything back. So we've got the new replacement steel fenders on, got them located, mocked up. We've had to do a few little modifications here and there to get everything to fit right. The aftermarket stuff just does not fit as good as the old original Henry Ford stuff. But we've got the new grill shell on it, got its modifications made for it to fit right. Got the spreader or the headlight bar on it, the spreader bar on it. The front splash apron has been tweaked on. We've had to modify it quite a bit, cut and weld on it. So we got both sides of that done. Right now it's just getting roughed up. He's starting to final fit some of his body lines and his gaps. And then this thing will be coming apart next week, and he'll start prepping everything for paint and getting it ready to paint it, put it back together, and we'll send it out the road. So that's kind of what we got going on here on that. we've done everything over in the other shop, haven't we? So that's the end of the week, the video, right? The shop tour. So we've touched base this week on a little bit of everything going on, the update on the 55, the 63, the 39 sedan, the 54 F100, the pickup, the 55 Chevy pickup, the 32 sedan. So after all that, we would like from here at Saxy Rod Shop to wish everybody happy, safe, and Merry Christmas. And if you see anything that you want to have more information about, let us know. We've had a few of those here lately, but not too many, so give us a call. Don't forget that we also have a full parts department. It's probably one of the most knowledgeable guys in the United States on any kind of part you need, how to use it, what to adapt it to, anything you need. So please give us a call. Thank y'all.
Wave to the camera. I bet they are.